One of the things that Championship 7v7 and True Exposure has tried to do since its inception is change the narrative. You might see that hashtag on social media over the past couple of weeks. We've really been pushing that hard. I know I've definitely done that as well. But what does that really mean when you say changing the narrative? Well, when you look at the game of football, one way that football has changed over the last year, last couple years, is we've seen more women get involved in the sport, whether that be refereeing, coaching, especially at the higher up ranks of the NFL. We've seen several female officials and coaches, and it's come down now to college, as we saw Sarah Fuller from Vanderbilt being the first woman to ever play in a Power 5 game for the Commodores this past season. And now we're seeing high schools where females are starting to come up on in major ways. I know back where I'm from, there was a girl who kicked a game-winning field goal in a state playoff game for their team. So we're starting to see more and more women in football, and with that, we're also seeing the birth of flag football, and a lot of colleges are starting to announce that they're offering scholarships. And one thing that Championship 7v7 has focused on is we're going to have a division here in the coming years, maybe as soon as next year, specifically for girls. So you're starting to see a real growth of flag football and women in football. And personally, I think it's awesome, and I'm glad that we are on the forefront of that, and we're getting to see some of these women that are making their way into football on the national stage. And we actually saw that last weekend in Atlanta, where we had two women officials, and we also had a coach on the sidelines for YPL out of Atlanta, Deanna Hickox, who coached for the 14U and 15U team, I believe. And she's got a great story. We wanted to invite her on to share her coaching background with us and give us some idea of what changing the narrative really means.
My name is Deanna Hickox, or the kids call me Coach D. I coach for YPL in Atlanta, Georgia. This is my third year now. I've been with 7-on-7 though for 5 years. In my first 2 years, I kind of just observed, watched, and learned from the other coaches. I've always been around football. I grew up around football. My uncles played. My dad is a sports videographer. I'm always around football. In high school, I did media. I was always at football games. I posted about offers. I posted about commitments. And so when I moved to Atlanta, there was a couple of other coaches who wanted to start a 7-on-7 team, and they asked if I would be interested in helping them out. And then I kind of just transitioned to coaching after watching them for, my first couple of years. I'm just really grateful that I have great parents that, might be a little off when we first start, like, oh, she's going to be the coach. But they learn to trust me. I learn to trust them. My players are great. And I just work with a great group of people who constantly help me learn. We help each other out. We are teaching each other. We learn from each other. And so I'm just grateful to work with YPL and, all the coaches, all the parents, all the players of YPL. Right now, 7-on-7 is just my plans. I'm really not thinking too much forward with that, but I've really enjoyed coaching 7-on-7. It's a great opportunity to slow down the game, really work on, the basics and back to the foundations for all of the players, really take the time to slow down the game and explain everything. And so I'm just really enjoying coaching 7-on-7 right now. I think that women deserve to be in all these places. We're definitely capable of being in those places, to be the refs, to be the coaches, to go to college on scholarships. So really, I just hope that it's, gets more accepted in general. And really, there's nothing stopping us. I think women are so powerful, and together we're stronger. So when, we put women in places that they are role models for other women and they empower other women, there's really nothing stopping us. First, just throw out the window all of what people say you can and can't do. I think that women and young girls are told, like, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. And you can do whatever you put your mind to. And when you find these role models, these women role models, there's so many. Jen Welter, she, first NFL coach with the Arizona Cardinals. When these people are, trying to put girls in the position to be able to do these great things, to be able to get involved with football, follow those people, listen to them, learn from them. And hopefully as women in our places as coaches, as officials, we keep pushing forward. Hopefully it opens up opportunities for younger girls to follow behind us and do even greater things.
Great stuff. We appreciate Coach D calling in and giving us a little insight to her coaching background, and I think she has a bright future in the sport of football. I really liked what YPL tweeted a couple weeks ago after our tournament in Tampa. They said, hey, if you think you're going to get an easy win when you see Coach D out on the field, you are wrong. She knows her stuff, and we got the chance to see that firsthand, not only in Tampa, but this past weekend in Atlanta also. I can't wait to see what YPL does the rest of the season under Coach D's leadership and guidance.